Good morning, everyone. Welcome in to class. If you haven't yet, I'm sure you haven't, because we're just getting started. Grab a blanket. All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to class. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to class. Thank you for your patience as we get ready this morning. My name is Brandon Copeland. I'll be leading you through a nice, easy, super slow flow for Sunday morning. We'll stick to about 30-35 minutes, and we won't move too much. So plan on using your breath. Grab a blanket. Maybe set up some of your favorite music or whatever you feel comfortable. If you don't want music, that's fine. But take maybe like a minute to set up your space. I'll show you how to fold the blanket in that time. It's not that long, so you have some time. And while you do that, please remember, if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe to our channel, or my channel. Please help out our cause, get people to come to the classes, practice with your friends and family. And there's something else I'm supposed to tell you to do. Oh, subscribe, like the video, please, if you like it. Good morning. I see you in the chat. If you like it, make sure that you subscribe. And if you can, please donate to our Cash App. It's really been helpful and amazing experience doing these videos and teaching people all across the country and the world. My sister's in South Korea, so hey, what's up, Allison? And seeing, people setting up their space and kind of really taking this practice seriously in a way that, is about a lifestyle. So thank you. If you like that, if we're kind of helping your lifestyle and helping you practice, helping you feel good, please feel free to donate to our Cash App or PayPal for this class. So that's enough rapping. I've been talking. You can wear, as you see, I'm like chilling. I'm wearing a sweater. You can wear whatever you kind of want to be comfortable in this particular class. So let's get started. So I'm going to grab what I have set up as a blanket for myself. This blanket is actually really special. I was waiting for my son. It's a quilt, Black Panther quilt. I like blankets a lot. My dad used to make fun of me for blankets, but I really like blankets a lot. And so I grabbed one that I like, right? It's not mine, it's Lennox's. But you grab something that you're going to feel most comfortable in. The first pose that we're going to do is shavasana, or corpse pose. So I'm actually going to get down. And you can see I'm just taking the blanket and making it so that it's enough to cover my body. It's not too big. So we start our practice chilling, right? We're going to bring the feet to the corners of the mat. Heels come to the corners and feet come out to the sides. Kind of take your feet and move your legs so that if your hips or knees have anything stored in them, you kind of let the legs relax on purpose, right? You can do this in bed. You can do this whole practice in bed if you want to, right? Feet come out to the sides, right? And just let the toes relax. We're kind of laying down on the back, maybe slowing down the movement, moving with purpose, right? Using the stomach to kind of lay ourselves down. And then shoulders rest onto the mat, and back of the head rests onto the mat. Palms can face up. And let's check in with the body going outside in. So move hands and feet. Move the wrists and the ankles, kind of feeling out whatever you feel in your hands and feet. Right? Maybe moving the toes and fingers. Taking your time, right? Noticing the breath. Let's take a deep breath in Then let's exhale, relax the hands and feet. Then try to isolate, right? The space between the wrists and the elbows. Maybe the forearms. Maybe you still need to use the hands, the feet, the calves, right? To move these areas, this space here, and this space here. But notice, squeeze those spaces. See if maybe without moving anything else, you can squeeze those muscles, right? Maybe you have to move the wrist a little bit. That's fine. And then exhale. Let everything below the knee and below the elbow relax. From your shoulders to your elbows, from the knees to your hips. Maybe notice any movement that you need in the shoulders or the hips. Kind of taking that same action, kind of squeezing the muscles, activating them, checking in. And then let the arms and the legs just relax. From your navel and shoulders. Everything in the midsection, notice the ribs maybe squeezing together. Maybe pull the navel in. Maybe move a little bit on your mat, right? Small movements or big movements are fine. Whatever you like, wherever your body's at. Maybe lift the chest up, kind of arch it through the back a little bit, and maybe spread out. So maybe try to move the shoulders away from the pelvis, lengthen out. Maybe have the arms come wide and stretch through all four corners, fingers, toes, reach, and then let everything relax down. Let's lift the chin all the way up, look back, and then tuck the chin, rounding through the neck. As you tuck the chin, look down at your left foot, and then look down at your right foot. Take a deep breath in, lift the chin towards the ceiling, and then exhale, let the head lay down. Now we're going to go find our blanket, and I'll try not to stay too long in these poses. I don't really have a clock. But you can use the breath. So we'll take about 20 breaths here, right? Cover yourself in the blanket so you kind of feel the weight of it laying you down. You can come all the way up to the shin, up to the chin if you'd like. It's up to you. Palms face up. And we're not going to sleep, right? That's not the point of this practice. The point of the practice is actually to stay awake and see or feel your thoughts in action, right? Your feelings in action. So with the eyes open, look at the ceiling. Let the mouth be open. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And a full breath out of the mouth. We're going to do 4 more like that. Trying to feel everything in the body. Helping out. Exhale out. With that movement, right? The movement of the breath. So as you breathe in, maybe feel the blood in the fingertips. Maybe feel the shoulders. Trying to feel like what does that breath, how does that change the cells in my body? How is this oxygen getting in there? And then when you exhale, try not to be attached to that feeling. Good, bad, and different. Just kind of exhale and let the body get smaller. See if your ribs can collapse in, the navel can fall. You can feel heavier. Let's do that 2 more times. Deep breath in through your nose. Expanding from the center. And exhaling out of the mouth. Allow the eyes to settle on one spot. Last breath like this. Inhale. And exhale out. As you exhale, maybe allow the eyes to close. Take the next 15 breaths similarly, but looking, quote unquote. So imagine that you're in a large movie theater, and in front of you, your life is playing on the screen. About 12 more breaths. And you're watching contentedly as you breathe in, out. But sometimes the scene might pop up that shocks you, stops the breath, disturbs your viewing experience. Over the next 10 breaths, when you notice your breath being stopped by a thought or a feeling, as you're going to watch your life on this screen. Just acknowledge it as such. Thought, like a judgment or a thought, simply words, or a feeling, the way you feel. And what you do is go back to watching the movie, right? So you take a deep breath in. Acknowledge that thought or feeling, and then exhale, kind of consciously let it go. Looking to see what comes next on the screen. About 8 more breaths. Breathing in and out of the nose. Just try to hear the quality of your breath. Feel it going deep into the navel, the lungs filling all the way up, big breath, and then feel everything getting smaller. Coming back to your screen for about 4 more breaths. 3. Learning to surrender in your practice, right? Not having to go or do anything. 2. Just valuing this inhale and this exhale. Last breath in our shavasana, our first shavasana of the practice. Inhale. And exhale. So we'll move through the fingers, move through the toes a little bit. Maybe the knees and the elbows move. Take your time, not really looking towards me or anything in particular, but just trying to feel your body. Stay in this moment, right? This feeling, this connection, right? Let's reach the hands up. Stretch through the fingers and the toes, a nice long reach. And staying here, we'll grab the right wrist with the left hand. And just slowly, right? You can be in bed, you can be anywhere that you are, just laying flat. We'll pull the right wrist over towards the left. And let's scoot our feet over towards the left. So we're making this kind of crescent moon shape on the mat. Now you might feel a big stretch on your right side body here. You might not, right? If you don't, you can move the ribs closer to the right edge of your mat, trying to keep the hands and feet where they are. In this practice, this kind of yin practice, is very slow practice. We want to go about 60-70%, because we'll be laying here for the next 10 breaths. If your breath is about 4 seconds, inhale, exhale, that pause in between, that's like 10 seconds, 10 breaths, 100 seconds, about 2 minutes almost. Almost, let me wrap it, in this pose. So you don't want to go too far. Right? Don't pull yourself into this place that you gotta maintain. Just kind of allow your design and the next 5 breaths to open that area up. Four, any movement that comes naturally, shifting the hands, shifting the legs. You can maybe try it out. 3. Try not to lose the point of the stretch. Stay into that one space, that space right to the side of your shoulder, right underneath the shoulder, that opening. Keep that active. Let that continue to happen. On your last breath, breathing into that right side. Exhale. And let's go back. Let's go back to the middle. So we'll bring hands to center, feet to center. And we'll move to the other side. So pull left hand over, feet go over to the right. And 10 breaths. Kind of settling into the mat. We're here for 10. Notice when those thoughts and feelings come back and distract you from counting your breath. Acknowledge them as such. They're valid, their thoughts, their feelings. But they're not our focus. They're not breathing, right? We have 8 more breaths. Maybe try to count. Inhale, 8. Exhale, 8. Inhale, 7. Exhale, 7. All the way to 1. Just letting the mind clear. 5. 4. You have proved that you fight well. Now you can join us. Yes, but no, this is your last chance. 3. 2. And 1. Okay, let's come back to the central line in our body, line on the mat. We'll reach to the fingers, reach to the toes. Let's bring the knees into the chest. You can wrap your arms around your knees and shift to your left and shift to your right on your mat. Kind of moving forward and back. Massaging that space in the spine. We're going to focus in the pelvis and the spine in these next few poses. Very chill poses. If you want to redo this same sequence standing up, you can, right? But this is really meant for us to relax. So let's sit up. If you can't tell, this is kind of new for me because I constantly move around a lot. And so my mind tends to wander in these types of poses. I'm going to fold my blanket as you watch, right? Just kind of folding it in half again, and just give me space for my right thigh to rest on. I'm going to fold it like that. The height of your blanket is going to be the support. So if you need more support, heighten the blanket a little bit more, right? If you need a little bit less, you can kind of let it be flat. But in these poses, it's easy to get distracted, right? To kind of let your mind wander and feel like you should be doing something else. Try to allow yourself to notice what those distractions are and maybe what their root causes are, and just choose to chill, right? Choose to relax, let yourself just be there, right? Let's bring the right knee up. We're going to pull the right knee in, hug it in close. We're going to lay the right thigh down. And I'll just scoot so you guys can see a little bit better. Lay the right thigh down on our blanket. Just so we have the support on the hip, we're going to lay with the hip open and knee open for a little while. So kind of expect that feeling, that opening feeling on the inside of the thigh to arrive, right? And we're going to lay down flat on the back. Kind of like in that same similar position for like fallen tree pose. So we're laying here with the knee down. Hand can come to the inside of the thigh or inside of the knee. And for the next 10 breaths, you're just noticing where your mind goes. Not really judging one way or the other. We're kind of noticing, especially as the pose starts to open up this hip, maybe what your thoughts are. Right? Let's bring the left hand to your left, to the center of the chest, and take our 10 breaths. We're here for 10. Just letting the ears feel heavier towards the mat. 9. 8. 'Continuing on with your count. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. twists now. Let's lift the knee up, left knee comes up, and left foot is down. Now you have options here. Maybe you want to use the blanket between the legs. Cool. Right? Maybe you just want the blanket on the side of your body. That's also cool. Right? So you can choose in your twist. Excuse me, I'm just going to move a little bit. You stay where you are so you can see. You can choose to maybe just twist both knees over to the right. This, I think, is the deeper twist. Right? Like this, both knees over. Right? Maybe you want to bring the feet down a little bit. Maybe you want to bring your blanket between the legs for a little more support. Right, your choice. I kind of like the blanket between the legs, so I'm going to stay here. But again, just doing enough to feel a stretch, maybe on the left ribs, in the lower back, maybe even in your hip, right? It's your body, I don't really know. It could be in your ankle, I don't know. Right? Until you feel something. At about 60-70% twist, right? Let the left shoulder drop down. Take our 10 breaths. Just trying to feel heavy, like you're falling into a pool. Or in a field of grass. You're not allergic, right? I don't know, you're in that feeling in the middle of a party or wherever however you feel most secure. As you breathe here, try to let yourself surrender to the twist. Letting the upper body feel that security, that settling. Lower body, the legs feel heavy. They feel that same thing. All right, you feel that nice ease. And connect with that space that may be similar to what you might feel now. That twist, the shift in that space, right in the middle of the body. And notice the effect of how you feel in the twist as you breathe in and breathe out. Maybe noticing your internal organs shifting a little bit. There's some action going on in there. Maybe feeling what you ate. It's kind of that churning energy. Over the next 4 breaths, breathe in. Acknowledge that space. Let your mind focus right in the center of the belly, right in the middle of the twist. And kind of as you exhale, let that anxious feeling just spread out towards the feet, towards the hand, kind of flattening. Right? Not really like being more anxious, but allow the ease from the upper body and the lower body to creep in towards the middle. Right? Give it some room. Take one more breath.
It's the most tremendous new musical experience you can have.
Good. Inhale. Let's bring the knees back to center. And extend the feet down. Take an extra breath here. Breath in. Maybe lift the ribs a little bit. Breath out. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. All right? Easy peasy. Bring your left foot in towards your right leg. And let the left knee rest on your blanket. Right foot is in. You're laying down flat on the back. And we're taking our fallen tree pose for 10 breaths. 10. 9. 8. 7. 4, 3, 2, last breath. Okay, we'll bring the right knee in, preparing for the twist. Maybe knees come to the center, or blanket comes to the center, excuse me, like last time, and we'll twist over to the left side. You can look to your right and let yourself feel heavy on the mat. I don't keep saying heavy, release, surrender, relax. And at times like these, it can be very difficult to do. And so think of this as a manufactured feeling. You're putting your body in this shape. You're adding the magic of breath, which sounds like hippy dippy, but some shit's magical, right? You're adding the magic of breath to that shape, and you're changing how you feel. And it might not feel like that at first. 8 more breaths. But over time, you change the chemistry in your brain, change your outlook, change your connection to your breath in the moment, and then change your circumstance. Or accept your circumstance. You won't be stuck in the middle. And that feeling that you might feel in your stomach as this twist develops. Right? You might feel that little bit gurgling, kind of queasy, unsure feeling over the next 6 breaths. It's life, right? So let your mind focus into that space. And make it mechanical, right? You don't have to answer that question of what I'm going to do, how am I going to do it, how is this going to happen. You just got to kind of be willing to accept the answer. Be breathing, be aware, be conscious. So practice that over the next 3 breaths. Let's do it together. Breathe in. And just kind of exhale. Imagine that central space that might be a little off, right? Imagine it relaxing. Feel it settling. 2 more. Breath in. The apprehension, tension, regret. Acknowledge it. Feel it here, and then exhale. Let it go. Take 1 more like that. Deep breath in. And a full breath out. Good. Let's come back to center. Back to that middle space. Good. And let's bring bottoms of the feet together. This wasn't in the plan at first, right? Let's go with it. You're gonna inhale at first. Let's sit up. So take your time, right? I like to move around a lot real fast. You don't have to move like me at all. Please don't. Right? Hands behind your back. Slowly come up. We're gonna take our blankets. We're gonna let this be one of our final poses. Take your blankets. I don't need that much space. My legs aren't that long. And roll it up. I didn't say Alexa. Roll it up. So we're gonna bring our knees. Bring our blanket here. Place the knees on it. With the bottoms of the feet together so you have that support. Maybe if you want to move it under the thighs a little bit, you can. Right? I don't know if you guys can see this camera. And we're gonna lay down here. Just kind of in this supported supine, what is this? Baddha Konasana or angle pose, down angle pose, right? So bottoms of the feet are together, knees are wide, hands can come to the knees, or the thighs, right? And see, so you can even see the effects of these postures, right? They change where you're at. So it's like I'm starting to get this yoga brain, right, where my mind is more focused on the feeling in my body and less on kind of the synapses connecting, right? So laying in this position, try to kind of go into that. As you feel this stretch, maybe at the top of your thigh, like I do, maybe not, maybe it's in your lower back, or maybe it's somewhere else, maybe you need a little more support. As you get comfortable as possible, and the shape kind of does its magic, it slowly lets those muscles open up. Try and let your mind wander, have become familiar with, right? And allow yourself to just feel, right? We have about 8 more breaths in this pose. I'll stop rapping so much. You just kind of be there and just let the extension happen in the legs. And as it becomes a little bit challenging or a little bit, you feel it more, breathe deeper. Right? Remember, you're in your body, you're making a decision. And despite the feeling, right, you're still in control. You're underneath all the tendons and the bone, just as much as you're a part of them, right? So keep steady. Let the breath be smooth. Here for 4. If you feel tension in the body still, breathe out of the mouth. Try to let your exhale go. A little bit longer. A little bit more full. See if the inhale can be a little less demanding, maybe a little longer. A little more full. 3 more breaths. 2 more breaths. The last one. So we'll finish out in our shavasana, right? Feet come down. You have 2 options here. Maybe you bring the hands to the sides of the mat, palms facing up, or you bring the blanket underneath the legs like this. You can also go back to that original shavasana where we had the blanket completely covering us. You can also kind of make your blanket a little heavier in one area. And like I'm going to lay it on top of the thighs and the pelvis. So we worked on the thighs and the pelvis today, and it's small work, right? But work that you'll feel, right? And you kind of want to encourage that small release, if that makes sense. So we didn't do a lot of big movements, like your thigh wasn't really used a lot today, right? It was these small little tendons in the pelvis and like in the twist, like all that. So having this blanket here, for me at least, reminds me to let that area relax, right? Let that space just settle. Maybe it's because it's heavier, maybe it doesn't naturally, like weighted blankets and other things. Well, that's kind of the idea. When you add the blanket to your shavasana or to your sleep, your body releases, right? You relax. And so focusing on one area that you might still feel tension in and just kind of letting that area be covered is a good idea, right? So kind of decide what area you like. And I'll walk you into like a nice ending shavasana. So the idea of shavasana is corpse pose. You want to let go of whatever feeling you might have held on to in your practice. And not just like let go, like forget it, but you want to feel it. You want to acknowledge it, let it kind of flow through you. So you let your body be open as possible, let your breath be open as possible. Just so you can be open to feel and then let go. So heels come to the corners of the mat, palms face up. Chin is up, eyes closed. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out of your mouth. Breath in through your nose and out of your mouth. Coming back to the hands and the feet. Just move the toes and the bottoms of the feet, acknowledging they're present, thanking them in your own way, right? Kind of saying, yes, this is my foot. Right? It's very odd. It might sound kind of weird. We'll just do it. Acknowledge the foot. Move it around. And then let it go. Let it relax. And from the calves, from your ankles to your knees, these are your calves. Move them around. Do whatever you need to do. Kind of feel the shins and the calves active. Acknowledge them. Thank them. Let them go. From the knees to the pelvis. The thighs, maybe the full legs. All of your legs move. Just kind of acknowledging their existence. Moving them in space. And then acknowledging that you're not made of legs, right? Let them go. They're just a part of you, but they could be gone. And you'll still be you. From your pelvis, butt, groin, right, the base of the spine, moving around. Let it be instinctive, right? The lower chakra is instinctive, that base feeling that we operate out of. And then let it go. And then maybe using your hand or your blanket, maybe you bring your hand to the pelvis and the navel and your chest. Acknowledge that space. Maybe lift the ribs or press the navel in and down, press the chest down. I'm just going to let that midsection be weighted down by the hands, but also you feel any tension you might feel, let it go. Exhale it out. Let it go is a kind of a vague statement. And let your exhale melt the body down, taking the tension or that tightness out of that area by acknowledging it. From the shoulders to your elbows to your wrists, the palms of the fingers, acknowledging the tension you have. And it might not go away immediately, right? And so often in these practices, it's easier said than done. But I'm telling you, over time, it's easier done than I can tell you. You just gotta do it. Do it. Try it. Try again. It'll work. From your jaw to your ears, the back of the neck, the throat, the face. Just kind of move it around. You're looking for any space that feels good to be stretched, right? Like there, I missed that spot. That feels nice. And so maybe through the rest of the body, that last little check, you might need to stretch out, move the bone into the muscle. Inhale with the nose and exhale out of the mouth. Let everything settle down all at once. In this shavasana, if you fall asleep, that's good. You can sleep. But I invite you to count. Just laying here. As you inhale, count 1. As you exhale, count 2. Inhale for 3. And exhale for 4. Still laying flat. Take your time in your shavasana. As long as you need, as short as you need. And dedicate that feeling that you get to yourself or to someone else. And try and carry that with you as you move through your week. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. I love you guys. I'm happy that everybody's here. I feel like everybody's in the room with me, and maybe not. So thank you for your continued donations and support. Please come back to the channel this week, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. We'll have classes that you can catch. That'll be on there even if you missed it. So peace, y'all. Enjoy your Sunday. Be blessed. Man.